So when was the last time that you saw such a huge Congress protest almost jamming all nook and corners of New Delhi? The who's who of the grand old party, right from a Karyakarta to its regional satraps to top leaders, are all on the roads protesting. From the old guard to the new gen Netas, everyone is in attendance for the second straight day. And this show of strength after Rahul Gandhi is summoned by the Enforcement Directorate. This in the National Herald Case. He is questioned for the second straight day for hours and hours. The Congress party alleges this is vindictive politics. This is harassment by the Modi government. Political vendetta is something that you hear from the entire opposition ad nauseum again and again and again. Each opposition party alleges that they are being targeted, they are hounded, and the central agencies are time and again being misused by the center. Then ideally, one would have thought that the entire opposition would join hands and not miss any opportunity to put the government on the mat. Be it the case of Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi then later on the 23rd of June. But where is the opposition? Even factionally united? Are they? And who is the opposition? Who do you call the opposition right now? The big question. Earlier, remember, the Congress was assumed to be the leader of the opposition parties. But now, and why was no other opposition party, no other opposition leader either seen or heard joining cause with the grand old party? Is the opposition unity a ghost of the past, or is it for real? Is it just a pipe dream? Is it even possible? Are the priorities of various opposition parties different? Is this then a precursor to the upcoming presidential elections and later, the big battle of 2024? And before we begin to answer all these questions, let's quickly put our focus just on one regional satrap, that is Mamata Banerjee, the Chief Minister of Bengal. What is her priority right now? What is Mamata Banerjee up to? As the Congress's priority right now is Rahul Gandhi, Didi's priority is instead the presidential elections. She's written to about 22 opposition leaders, including Sonia Gandhi, and the chief ministers of 8 non-BJP ruled states. Well timed with the Rahul questioning by the ED. Who knows? Maybe. Now, Mamata Didi has invited them to a meeting in Delhi on the 15th of June to discuss possible names for an opposition-sponsored candidate for the president's post. But her choice of the date, 15th of June, this clashes with the similar exercise that is being launched by the Congress. So the Congress, together with the CPIM and the NCP, has been in touch with the other opposition parties, and it had invited them for a meeting in Delhi on the same date, 15th of June, to hold a preliminary talk on the issue. So is this then, many are asking, a deliberate attempt by Mamata Banerjee to undermine the Congress? Is she wanting to emerge as the leader of the opposition camp? And would this be acceptable by the others? Now don't forget, many in the opposition camp, right from a KCR to an Arvind Kejriwal and many others, they right now believe that they have a serious chance to lead come 2024. Particularly at a point where the Congress continues to deal with a lot of internal dissent, it keeps losing elections one after the other. And maybe emboldened by different priority voices, groupings, blocks, and consolidation by the opposition ranks, the BJP called the Congress's protest and agitation over Rahul's ED summon a quote-unquote tamasha. Even Mamata's TMC says this is hypocrisy and the Congress should let the law take its own course. They even reminded the grand old party of how they reacted when Mamata's nephew, Abhishek Banerjee, was grilled by the central agencies. Nevertheless, see, Congress has agreed to send a delegation for Mamata's opposition meet. Perhaps Later there could be some change in plan to Congress's response to Mamata. We'll have to see. Meanwhile, Mamata has also met Sharad Pawar before the big meeting tomorrow. So let's get back to the great opposition game again. Almost a similar war of words you had heard erupting between the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress. The Congress party actually had welcomed Satyendra Jain's arrest. But before that, Kejriwal had hit out at the ex-Punjab Chief Minister Channi after his nephew was raided by the ED. Well, see, stance varies and it changes as it suits. Perhaps these are the reasons that the Congress alone is fighting its battle on the Delhi streets, either thinking it suits them alone or it is forced to be left alone. Even in the state of Maharashtra, where you have the Congress ruling along with the NCP and the Shiv Sena, none of the allies have come openly to stand with the grand old party. In fact, there is already a blame game in the MVA after the defeat of Sena's Sanjay Pawar in the recently concluded Rajya Sabha elections. So in a situation like this, it's only fair to ask, who is the opposition? What is the index of opposition unity? Are they really concerned about coming together and fighting as one, or they believe that their own personal battles are more important? If the BJP uses these opposition fissures to advance themselves, can they really be blamed? Isn't the onus on the opposition? Whether it is the Congress, the TMC, the Aam Aadmi Party, the TRS, DMK, BJD, or any other party to decide what their priorities are? Or we can safely say that they are charting their different course as they deem fit for themselves, without any concern for so-called opposition unity. Or Prime Minister Modi, again, will prove prophetic when he declared immediately after the UP win that 2024 is a done deal. Fractured opposition, prophetic Modi. We'll have to see where the story goes. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, please go ahead and subscribe to the news you don't get. In the comment section below, I would love to hear from all of you, your suggestions, your thoughts. For the moment, thank you and goodbye.